Hi everybody, I'm Kathleen Byron, and I'm the author of Conversations with Dawnkey, a Bipolar Journey. I'd like to read to you from it tonight. The chapter called Racist. This is going to be a very touchy subject, so I'm giving you a trigger warning. I'm sorry, my cat is making noise over there. She found a box to chew on. So I'm going to read to you from the chapter Racist out of my book Conversations with Dawnkey, a Bipolar Journey. My dad was raised to be a racist. His father was a Southern fundamentalist Baptist preacher. His mother played the piano for the church, amongst other things. They were terribly racist. They taught it to Dad. Dad said when he was little he heard his dad talking to his mother. He said he had had her checked out, and she had black blood in her family. She asked him what he was going to do, as they had 2 children. He said he didn't know. Apparently nothing came of it, as they remained together until Grandpa's death. But the relationship was never the same. This would have been in the late 40s or the 50s that this happened. Grandpa was born in 1911 and died at the age of 50, so that would have been in 61. I was born 4 years later. Despite the racism, Dad worshipped his father. Grandpa never hit him, never. Years later, Dad would cry and whisper this to me. He said once when his mother insisted he get a beating, his father took him into the bathroom. He hit the belt on the wall. Then he said something like, "You might want to start crying." He was faking the beating so Grandma would be satisfied. Dad remembers wondering why his parents wouldn't let the black man working for them eat with them at the dining table, instead of out on the back porch step. He remembers lots of things. He tried to overcome it. He had a best friend who was black. This does not mean that he got a get out of racism free card, but it was eye-opening for him. He was brought into his friend's family and friend's circle. It meant so much to him. He paid for his friend to go through X-ray school, and his friend paid back every penny. In the last few years, he found another black friend here in Sacramento. He thought he was close to him, close enough to tell him a bad joke. Yes, bad is a euphemism for you know what. I was appalled. I didn't understand how he could do something so dumb. His friend never forgave him or saw him again. It tore him up. He'd cry in front of me about it. He learned so much but still had so far to go. Did it make a difference? My racist grandma, his mother, had 4 grandchildren, 3 girls including me. 3 girls. That's 3 of us is what I mean. There are 3 girls. And her grandson. Both girls, not I, just the other 2 girls, married black men and had lots of black children. We have lots of black people in our family. For your information, This does not give me a get-out-of-racism-free card either. Just because I have black folks in my family doesn't make me free of stupidity. I can still make mistakes and misunderstand things. I will never be perfect, but I still really try hard to do the right things. Grandma lived with one of her grandchildren. She asked one of her great-grandchildren, "What does it feel like to be black?" She used the N-word up until I don't know how long. Grandpa, the man that Dad adored, died at 50. Grandma died at 100. Dad couldn't understand why he lost his dad, whom he idolized, and his mom, who was mean to him, lived another 50 years. He grieved horribly for him. I think he was still grieving when he died. He remembered things, horrible things. He was the preacher's son. You think you're better than us. He was small, short. He got beaten up. When he got home, he was beaten by his mom for being in a fight. He was always the new kid and got beaten up for that, too. He grew up angry with a chip on his shoulder. When he started a new high school, he finally got fed up. Someone came up to him and bullied. People circled around yelling, "Fight!" And he did. He kicked that bully's ass. They became friends. Dad became popular and was class valedictorian. When he married Mom, he did a lot of screaming and yelling. I don't think he could help it. Mom said I would cry and pass out when he did this. I'm going to interrupt for a second and say we talked many times about my father possibly being on the spectrum. He was so unhappy. Mom tried so hard. She made everything perfect. She treated us like gold. She made a beautiful, warm nest for us and tried to be so happy. He was the best provider ever, and hard worker, and brilliant and talented. Best woodworker I ever saw. He was such a perfectionist. He was so valued at work that when he tried to leave to make more money, they gave him a 50% pay raise and a new title to justify it. I understand he passed over to the other side. I also understand he is back at times doing little jobs and working things there and checking on Mom so when she passes, he can help her cross over. Sean dedicated My Way to Dad. This made Dad cry. Lots of things made Dad cry near the end. He's happy and free of his burdens. That makes my heart sore. I'd like to talk a little bit about racism now. Racism and ethnicity and cultural differences are all very fascinating and meaningful to me. I have always been interested in those things, and when I say interested, I mean I hate racism. That's what I'm trying to say. I think the general population is racist. I think it's like a continuum. I don't think, true, you're either racist or you're not, but I think that there are levels of it, or there's extremes of it. Some people are less racist than other people. That's the way I look at it. Now, I could be wrong. I may need to be taught about this. But that's the impression I get. And my impression is that almost everybody is racist, and they just don't realize it, a lot of them. people will deny that they are racist. I have never met in my 61 years a person who said that they are racist. No one will admit it. I'll admit it. I am racist just like everyone else. I make mistakes and I do stupid things and I think stupid things sometimes because I don't know any better. But I try really hard not to be. I try to learn about things. I try to be wise. I try to be kind. I try to be considerate. I try all these things hard. But I admit I do not know everything. There are things I know that I am doing that probably piss black people off, and they have a right to be pissed off about it because I'm stupid and I don't know what's going on and I need to be informed. And I understand that black folks don't want to have to be responsible for telling us everything about themselves to learn. They're not our teachers. It's not their job to teach us everything. It's our job to get out there and learn and be educated. If you want to know how to be educated, there are lots of ways. One of them is going to college. College will beat out a lot of stupidity from your brain if you're doing it right. If you're going to a college that all you focus on is drawing, you're not going to learn a lot except drawing. If you go to a college where you're learning lots of different things, you're going to be exposed to a lot of different kinds of people, and you're going to be hearing opinions and thoughts and things, and you're going to be learning a lot. I learned a lot from my race and ethnicity class. I forget the name of it, I'm sorry, but I sure remember the teacher. His name was Hugh Vialta. He was Hispanic and he was brilliant. I loved him and he did something for me. When I wrote my paper that was only supposed to be about 5 to 7 pages, I wrote a 30-page essay and I wanted it to be longer. I wanted it to be a book. I did a lot of research and I did a lot of typing, and I ended up so obsessed with it that I ended up being late with it because I was trying to make it perfect. I was worn out and I was shaking so bad I could not anymore type, and so I had to quit and take it to him. And I was a day late. And he had said he would take 10 points off if somebody was a day late. Well, he took the 10 points off and gave me a 90, which was an A. I had mistakes in there. I am sure that there were mistakes in there that I had made, and he did not even correct those. He just flat gave me an A. He may have been impressed by my passion about it. I am passionate about anti-racism, and I admit that I have been taught to be racist. I wish the rest of the world would come out and admit that they too have this and that they want to learn. That would make such a big difference. But instead, people are in denial. They will not admit. And that's about all I want to say about that, except one more thing. And this is racist. I'm going to say it anyway. I love the hell out of black people. I actually prefer to be around black people, and that's a racist thing to say. And I know it, and I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. And that's enough for now. I'm Kathleen Byram, and I'm the author of Conversations with Dawnkey, a Bipolar Journey. Thank you for listening, and please hit the like button. It only takes a second, and it does so much good for me. Thank you. Bye-bye.